Welcome back to the channel 007s. Today I have a very special one for y'all. Money will not save you. So a lot of guys are under the impression that if they become rich, all their problems with women will go away and they will start to attract more attractive women and it will just completely do a 180 of their dating life. But I want to explain to you guys one, why money is not the only answer and why most of the time it's not the answer, even though money is good. I want to explain why that's not the answer to your specific problem, and also want to help you guys reach your goal, without being in this mindset. So I'm going to be providing some solutions for you guys. Let's jump straight into it. So this is the mindset that most of us have, and this is a completely normal mindset, and it's been told to us our whole lives. If you get money, you'll get better women and all this, but that is majority of the time that's not the case, and I'll explain why. So if I get money, it will attract more women because guys with money are usually associated with being attractive. This is how a lot of guys think because you'll be out, you'll see an attractive woman and she's gorgeous or your exact type and you're thinking, "Oh man, I need to get rich." I used to think the same way. But once I started dating the women that I did find attractive, once I put in work on myself, and I'll explain more about that into the slides, I started realizing that a lot of these gorgeous women that we pedestalize, they're dating bums. Or, you've seen that guy who he's not the most attractive guy. He doesn't have a lot of money, but he somehow pulled an attractive woman, an 8, a 9, a 10, and you're wondering how. The truth of the matter is, most women don't value money as much as you may think. Yes, every woman likes money, of course. People in general like money, but it's not as big of a deal as you might think. So women are attracted to lifestyle. So if I have a great lifestyle, she'll want to be a part of it. This is another mistake a lot of guys think. A lot of guys think, oh, if I go traveling and I'm always doing things and posting and showing off my car and my lifestyle, I'll get women. There are plenty of guys who are millionaires that are struggling with women. They have a crazy lifestyle. They're traveling every month, every week. They have a Lamborghini. They have Corvette C8s. They have all these really nice cars, Mercedes luxury cars, but they are still lonely. You are driving around in a six-figure car and there's nobody in your passenger seat while there's a guy out there in a Honda Civic, like a 2005 Honda Civic, who has had more girls in his car in a month than you have all year. Another mindset: I don't have to be the best looking guy because money will add to my SMV. SMV is basically sexual market value. It's basically where a lot of guys in these spaces rate themselves, where it's about looks, money, status, confidence. Like, you're rating your whole market value. And a lot of guys think, oh well, I don't have to be good looking as long as I have money. And I'll explain why this is a problem in the next slide. Most guys think, well, most guys are broke, so if I have money, it will make me automatically in a different league than the average guy. Like I said, not true, because there are guys who are broke who are smashing more women than a guy who's a millionaire. It's just that simple. Just because you have money, it doesn't mean that you are going to have success with women. So let's get into it. The truth about having money. Money is not a bad thing. Most people are either on one side of the extreme, where money is everything and it will fix my problems, or there's the set of people who think money is the root of all evil. Neither side is completely right or wrong. And, I agree with this 100% because I don't think money is necessary to end all be all, because money will basically make financial inconveniences go away. Like, let's say your car breaks down, let's say your bills need to be paid, let's say something comes up unexpected. Like, obviously having a lot of money will make those things go away, but as far as your problem with women and attracting the people you want to your life, money is not going to solve that, because money most of the time attracts people who aren't there for your best interest, or people who actually don't care about you. They're just there to get your resources. So money can make financial inconveniences go away. Of course, I already said that, but it can also get you used and taken advantage of. There are plenty of rich guys who are spending all kinds of money on these girls, buying them Birkins, taking them on trips, doing all this expensive stuff. And these girls will leave these dates and leave these experiences and go right back to a guy who can't provide anything. I literally heard guys say girls have went on dates to steakhouses with guys. They'll go on the date, they'll leave right after the date and go to the guy they've been hooking up with, take him the leftovers, give him the gifts. Like I seen a video where this guy left a waitress $1,000 tip and left his number. She texted the guy, she appreciated the money, and her boyfriend needed to make rent that month. So she took his money, went back to her boyfriend who couldn't make the rent, gave him the money to pay her rent, and she slept with that guy that same night. Like it just goes to show that money will get you used and taken advantage of. A lot of guys think that it's going to fix all their problems. Money cannot unlame you or improve your skills when interacting with women. That is very true. There's a rapper named Ken Carson. I literally seen him DM Addison Rae trying to get up with her, and she just was not feeling him because his game was terrible. His opener in her DMs was, "Hey, you smoke?" Like that game does not work on really quality women. That "you smoke" game, that only works on low hanging fruit. Like it's just, he was under the impression that, oh, if I have money, then I can pull women, and or I have clout, I can pull women. Famous guys, rich guys get rejected all the time because they just do not simply have game. They try to use money to compensate for their lack of game. Millionaires are paying guys earning a lot less to help them attract women. A lot of these dating coaches, a lot of these guys in fitness, they have clients that make way more money than them. Why is this? It's simply because they have acquired a skill that is valuable. Being good with women is a valuable and marketable skill that can make you a ton of money. Being in shape is a valuable marketable skill that can make you a lot of money. Guys will pay you a lot of money to help solve their problems. So, like I said, just because you are rich doesn't mean that's going to solve all of your problems. You're still going to have to spend money and outsource to get information. It's as simple as that. A lot of the most rich and successful guys understand I need to pay somebody who is better at something than me in order to make me more money, in order to take me to that next level. So just because you have money does not mean that you're not going to need somebody who makes less than you to help you solve the problems you need to solve. In this example, attracting women. These celebrities you see have a combination of good traits that make them attractive, not just the money or fame. They basically just attract gold diggers, and not women that actually want them, if that's all you're relying on. And what I mean by this is, take Chris Hemsworth or Michael B. Jordan. I always use these guys as an example because they're like the most known, like attractive guy celebrities, or some of the most known. Michael B. Jordan, women don't find him just attractive because he has money. Michael B. Jordan, he had money before the attractive thing even like came into the picture. He started getting viewed as more attractive because women started seeing him a lot more. He started getting bigger roles. He also works on himself. Look at his physique. Look at how he takes care of himself. It's not just the money or the fame, because let's be real for a second here. Let's take somebody like Adam Sandler. No disrespect, Adam Sandler. He's a great guy. He's funny. He has a lot of money and a lot of status. But when do you often hear women bring up Adam Sandler as an attractive guy? He has more money, I'm pretty sure, than Michael B. Jordan and these other guys. But you don't hear women talking about how good he looks, or you don't hear women talking about how they want to get with Adam Sandler. You just don't hear that on a regular basis. And it just goes to show money is not going to solve all your problems. You have to be a more well-rounded guy. The man who wins the most, and this literally goes hand in hand with what I just said. The men who win the most are guys who are well rounded: looks, money, game, confidence, and knowledge, the full package. And I want to break down each category of this. So when it comes to looks, yes, you want to look good. Yes, you want to be at a lower body fat percentage and look the best you can. Yes, you want to be groomed well, have nice style. All those things are important, but looks only get you in the door. Everything else is what keeps you there. When we talk about money, money is great. You can give women new experiences. You can have a good lifestyle. You can take care of minor inconveniences. Yes, that's great. But at the same time, you can get used just as much. There are a lot of negative sides to trying to lead with money when it comes to attracting women. It will get you used more times than not, because when you lead with money, that's how she starts to look at you. A lot of guys start off taking women on these nice dates and selling them these dreams with their money. And then whenever the girl just expects money from you and she doesn't care about anything else you have going on, they tend to get upset. You can't really get upset when you attract a woman based off of materials, because that's what she's going to start to view you as. And the moment that you stop doing all these things for her, or the moment that you start expecting more from her, you're going to be disappointed, because the only thing she was attracted to you by was your money. Game and confidence, those go hand to hand. That's just like the mindset thing. Once you start to understand that, you need to work on your social skills when it comes to networking with people, talking to women, going on dates, how to escalate, and all these other skills, that is when you will start to attract women at a crazy rate. Because if you have your looks right and your money right, and not only that, but you can talk to her, you can keep her interested, you can help her out in situations, you're just a confident person, the way you carry yourself, that will take you to new heights of attractiveness. Because a lot of guys don't have this skill set. A lot of guys can have looks, a lot of guys can have money, but a lot of guys don't have game and confidence, because these are things that are hard to get. These take you being successful in some way. These take you knowing yourself. This takes you, having to achieve goals and do things that aren't easily obtainable. And knowledge is the last thing, because knowledge takes you such a long way. A lot of guys don't think about this, but when you are a man where you are knowledgeable about a wide variety of things, and you can start to teach a woman things, you will be in this woman's head 24/7, living rent free. Because most guys can't teach women anything. Most guys, they're just worried about smashing. But when you can get in a woman's head, you can teach her things, and you can improve her quality of life to make her a better woman. That's when you are making an impact on her life. And I'm not just saying, get with a girl and, pour all your energy into making her a better woman, and you don't even know if she likes you or not. When I'm talking about knowledge, this is when you are starting to see a woman, over some time, and she's shown that she's into you. She showed that she's feeling you. There's some investment from her end. But having everything I listed in these categories, this will make you the full package. This will make you the most attractive man, because I would say over 90% of men don't have the whole package. Majority of guys either have one thing or two things. This can be you. Well-rounded men are no better than you. The only difference is they understand that maxing out all of your stats will make you the better player. What do I mean by maxing out all of your stats? What I mean is, when you are good, or at least sufficient, in each category that I listed above, then your stats are maxed out and you are a well-rounded guy. Like, you should be putting time into all of these things. A lot of guys, they put time into their looks, but not their money or their game. A lot of guys put all their focus on their money. A lot of guys put all their focus on their game. That's why the older pickup artists used to say, oh, you don't need to look good, you just need to have game and this and that. But nowadays, that doesn't work anymore. Yes, having game can get you opportunities, of course, but you're going to get beat out by the guy who puts focus into every aspect, who divides his time into improving all around. Because you can have all the game in the world, if you're not an attractive man, after a while, bro, you're going to lose. If you're dirt broke, after a while, you're going to lose. You can have all the game in the world. Game is only going to take you so far, just like looks, just like money. You need everything, not just one or two things. But when I say the better player, I'm not just saying for guys who are trying to have multiple women. Even if you just want to have one woman, what I'm saying is you are competing with other guys. A lot of guys like to say, don't compare yourself to other guys. You shouldn't be competing. If you are trying to attract more women, you are naturally competing, even if you're not intentionally doing it. Because guess what? There are other guys 9 times out of 10 who want the same woman you want. So in order to beat out those guys, that shouldn't be your focus. You shouldn't be worried about what other guys are doing or what she's doing with other guys. Don't worry about that. Unless that's your girlfriend, then okay, it's different. But when you're first getting to know a woman or attract a woman, she's going to pick the best option. That's 99% true for most women. Like, they're going to pick the best option, or who they view as the best option. So when you are well-rounded, when you're good at everything, you're naturally going to be perceived as the best option. Because when she sees that, it's like, damn, like, this guy seems too good to be true. I've been told this even by my girlfriend now. She said, sometimes you just seem too good to be true, because whenever you are in a situation, it's like you always know how to navigate. And if you don't know how to navigate, I always see you working to try to figure things out. And I'm not used to that. A lot of people just give up. And like I said, a woman can have a guy that she deals with for money, but her true natural desire can be a broke guy if he can make her feel good. Women are driven by their emotions. And I said this here in the slide. And the guy who knows how to use this to their advantage, the well rounded guy, they will do well with women. Even if sometimes you're broke or unattractive, if you know how to make a woman feel a certain way, you will do well with women. With women, they fall in love with what they hear. Men, we fall in love with what we see. We fall in love with the beauty and the body and all this other stuff. Women, they fall in love with what they hear. That's why they get played a lot. That's why guys with good game win a lot with women, because they know what to say to make a woman feel a certain type of way. They know how to excite a woman. They know how to sell a dream to a woman. That's why a lot of guys who are players or F boys, they are good with dealing with women's emotions. That's why the woman goes back to the toxic guy time after time after time, even though in her head she knows he's not good for her, but she doesn't know why she keeps going back. She keeps going back because he emotionally has a stronghold on her. And until she learns how to break free, which takes a lot of women a long time to do, that's why they keep going back. So whenever you can max out your stats and learn how to deal with women emotions, that's when you will really, really be leagues ahead of everybody. You have to max out every single stat. Okay, now we're going to talk about the I'm just going to focus on myself right now warriors. And I made this slide because I have so many friends who are not good with women. No disrespect to them. And I've tried helping them, but you can't help someone that doesn't want to be helped. So until they decide that's what they want to do, there's nothing I can do. But as a friend, I will always be here to help them. But yeah, a lot of guys say, oh, I'm going to focus on myself right now. I'm not going to focus on dating. I'm going to get my money right. I'm going to get this right. I'm going to get that right. There's nothing wrong with focusing on yourself to become a better man. I support this, but most guys use this as an excuse not to improve, or they believe in order to attract a woman, you have to master self improvement. I want to clear something up. Yes, am I a huge advocate for self improvement? I am. It changed my life. Like bettering myself in every aspect of my life, it definitely made a big impact on my dating life for sure. But just because you get to a certain body fat percentage, just because you start making 6 or 7 figures, that doesn't mean women are going to start coming out the woodworks. You're still going to have to put yourself out there and work on the skills that I told you guys about. It's just as simple as that. A lot of guys say, oh, well, self-improvement, just because you do it don't mean you're going to get a ton of women. This is true, but you don't want to use this as a cope either. You still want to do the self-improvement, but you want to focus on dating and getting better with women at the same time. You can multitask. You don't just have to focus on one category. That's why a lot of guys are only good at one thing. That's why a lot of guys only look good, or a lot of guys only have money, or a lot of guys only have game, because they put all their time and energy into one thing, and you're only handicapping yourself when you do this. This is not true, because you can focus on getting more money and improving while dating women. Like I just said, self-improvement doesn't equal success with women, because improving yourself is not linear to having game and social skills. Exactly. Just because you have money or just because you have six-pack abs, that doesn't mean that that's going to naturally give you game. That doesn't mean that's going to make you good with talking and dealing with women. You're just going to be in shape, or you're just going to have money, or whatever it is that you've been working on. But you're still going to be lacking in these other departments. Self-improvement will make you a better candidate for sure. That's why guys push it. But in order to keep these women, you have to have experience with women to be able to navigate on dates and in relationships, either your own or paying for someone else's experience. So, I mean, that's just almost as simple as it can get. Yes, looking good can get you women. Yes, having money can get you women, but what's going to keep those women? It doesn't mean anything if you can get a woman and only have her on your team or your roster or as your girlfriend for a month. That does you no good. But when you can keep women around and keep them coming back, even to a point where you can go a year or two without talking to a woman, and you can hit her up randomly, she'll want to come back, is because you have to know how to plant that seed. When you are only one dimensional, you can't plant that seed because something is going to be missing. For you to have that full emotional hold on a woman, and I'm not saying to try to manipulate women, but for you to have that emotional hold, you have to have multiple stats. You just have to have more than just one way of doing things. But when it comes to having experience, the only way you get experience is putting yourself out there, going on dates, talking to women. And if you don't want to do that and you just want to get someone else's experience, you can also pay for it, watch it on YouTube. There's several ways to do it. But in my personal opinion, paying for someone to give you advice is normally going to be the quickest way. And the reason I say this is not just because I do consultations and things like that, because you don't have to pay me a dime. I mean, you could go to another dating coach or somebody else. But when you pay for something, one, most of the time you're going to take it more seriously, and two, you're going to get advice catered to you. When I make a slideshow like this or I make videos like this, I'm being somewhat vague. I'm just trying to give blanket statements to help as many guys as I can. But your situation is unique. So whenever you can go to someone and ask for advice and they can give you outright advice for your specific situation, you will make progress a lot quicker. Okay, so let's get into the solutions. I've told you, what's wrong, what's right, and all this, but let's talk about what can we do to, change our situation. So a good starting place is your mindset. Not even good, honestly. I shouldn't have even said good. The best starting place is your mindset, because this is the most overlooked stat, because it's not glamorous like looks, money, and status. So what do you hear guys preaching online for attracting more women? Oh, you need looks, money, and status. But how do you get all of these things? It comes from your mindset. You have to change your mindset. If your mindset is, I'm not attractive, I'm not going to get women, and it's in the wrong place, you're going to be unsuccessful at every attempt, because you're just going to give up. Once you get rejected one or two times, you're done. And that's what most guys do. We will get rejected a couple times and okay, this isn't worth it. I'm over this. We'll get our heart broken a couple times. It isn't worth it. Women are this, women are that. No, bro, we have to change our mindset. But this is where game confidence and seduction all takes place. Changing your perception of yourself will change how women and others view you. This is 100%. If you view yourself as a loser with no game and nothing going for yourself, that's how you're going to act naturally. It's as simple as that. You can't expect to view yourself as a loser, but then whenever you approach a girl, all of a sudden you are the smoothest guy on earth. It doesn't translate. Start viewing yourself as already attractive. Once you do this, you will ask yourself what characteristics make that version of you attractive, and you will start practicing these habits. And I talk about this a lot on my free ebook, which will be in the description below. You don't need any email or credit card to access it. It's completely free. Click the link, it pulls the ebook right up. But basically what I'm saying is, you have to figure out, okay, if I was successful with women, how do I think I would dress? How do I think I would act? How would I feel about myself? What are characteristics and traits I would have that I don't have in the current moment? And once you have those, you need to write those down, and you have to start asking yourself, what can I do to make myself become this version of myself? How do I bridge the gap from the part of me now where I'm unsuccessful with women? I don't know what to do. I've been struggling. I need guidance. How do I bridge that to, okay, I know what I need to do. I've been doing it. I'm seeing results. What do I need to do? So every day is a battle. Every day is a fresh start. You want to change your old habits to these new habits, and naturally you will become more attractive. So I gave some examples. Let's say you're extremely overweight, or you are extremely skinny, and you want to change your body, which will, change your looks. Going to the gym. Okay, you want to start going to the gym every day. Your first day, you don't want to go to the gym for 5 hours. Obviously, that's not sustainable. You want to make the goal sustainable. So let's say, okay, today, my first day, I'm going to go to the gym for 20 minutes. Tomorrow, I'll go to the gym for 25 minutes. The next day, I'll go for 30 minutes. And slowly over time, you want to start adding the gym to your routine. You don't want to start off going to the gym for hours. That's why most guys don't want to go to the gym, because in their heads, they're like, oh, well, I'm going to be in the gym all day. It's going to hurt. I'm not going to like it. No, meet yourself where you are now. Make it where it's doable for you now. And as you get better, and as you get more consistent, then you can up the workload, because you will be prepared to do so. Another example, socializing with strangers to build up your social skills. One of the biggest hurdles a lot of guys deal with when it comes to attracting women. It's not the way they look, it's not their bank account. Normally, it's just their social skills. They don't know what to say, or they'll get on the date and they'll freeze up. They don't know how to escalate and get her back to your place. A lot of guys don't understand how to do this. So, a guy who's good with women, he is good at socializing. He is good at talking to people. He's good at persuading. So, okay, today, day one, I'm going to go out and I'm just going to speak to one new person every day. Even if I'm just passing a stranger on the street and I say, hey, how's it going? How are you doing? Even if it's going to the grocery store, asking the cashier, how's their day going? And then the second day, okay, I'm going to have some small talk with a stranger. I talk about a lot of this in my ebook, and I can make a video on this for completely free as well. The ebook is free also, but talking about how to build social skills. I actually think I am going to do that either way. But yeah, you just want to work towards these goals and make them attainable. Don't make these goals so hard. Don't say, "Oh, I'm going to approach 100 women today." Like that, you're not going to stick to that. After you get rejected once or twice, you're going to be ready to quit. So you have to start small and work your way towards these goals. Make things easy. How to become more well-rounded, part 2. Working on your social skills. This is the area that most guys struggle with, contrary to popular belief. I was just talking about this. Most guys think that the physical, aka the outer appearance, is most important. This is somewhat true. However, looks only get you in the door. Game and confidence with women is what keeps them craving more. A lot of guys think if I look Max, if I become Tyrone, if I become Chad, if I become the super attractive guy, women are just going to throw themselves at me. Yes, this will get you some women, but it will be very short term. Now, if you're okay with just smashing a girl once and never talking to her again, then okay, cool. This might work for you, but even to smash, you have to have some type of social awareness. You can't just go up to a girl and say, hey, you trying to have sex? Most of the time, she's going to say no, even if you look good, because women constantly have guys trying to be sexual with them. So setting daily goals on how to be more social and charismatic. I already talked about this. Talking to strangers, giving compliments, learning how to network and talk to people about things that they care about, and being able to give value. This goes with the knowledge part where I said you can go up to a woman or let's say you're dating a woman. I don't want to say just going up to a woman, but let's say you're dating a woman. If you can start to teach her things and you know things that are of value and you know how to play to her emotions where she's talking about something she's passionate about and you can be engaged and you can give feedback and hold a good conversation and you become a great conversationalist, you will do laps around majority of other guys because most guys are not good conversationalists. And if you don't believe me, go up to a guy and try to have a deep conversation. Like, try to talk about something more than just sports, women, like just surface level things. Like, try to talk about life and goals and stuff with a random guy that you're friends with. Most guys will have no clue what they want to do. Most guys will have no clue what to talk about. And it's because they haven't done any social work. They just focus on, like I said, money, looks, the basic things. But once you know yourself and learn yourself as a man and you start to gain knowledge about yourself and things that are of value, you'll just be in a league by yourself. I'm going to be honest. It's pretty lonely sometimes, but we're not going to get into that. I'll talk about it in a different video. We're here for the meat and the potatoes. That's what we're here for. No Diddy. But I go into great detail in my free ebook. I know I talk about my free ebook a lot. I'm not really trying to sell you guys anything. It's just, it's hard in a video, like a YouTube video, to give you all the game that I have and that I know to help you guys. So I made the ebook just to make it where you guys can read it at your own pace and like take value from that free ebook. But if you want specialized value, like I said, you can also hit me up for a consultation. The first one's free, but after that, obviously I have to charge. When you become better at socializing, you will be able to capture a woman's interest and make her want to be around you. If you don't believe me, guys, you can show this statement I just made to a woman, to guys with game, and they will tell you. Becoming social will basically be the needle mover of being more attractive. It's as simple as that. Women fall in love with what they hear. If you don't know what to say in certain situations, you will have a hard time escalating and building genuine desire. 100% true, self-explanatory. If you're on a date with a girl and your goal is I want to get her back to my place, for us to be intimate. If you're on the date and you don't know how to ask her back to your place, or you don't know the things to say to build up that sexual tension, what are you going to do? What are you honestly going to do? That's why I say socializing is the key to everything. It's the key to getting a girlfriend. It's the key to building a roster. It's the key to getting sex. You just have to know what to say and what to do at the right time. And I'm not saying that there's one right phrase to say, or there's one right thing to do. There's different things that work for different guys, but you have to figure out what works for you. How do you do that? That is building your social skills. That is building your experience with women in order for you to know how to navigate and how to handle things. Once you learn how to do these things and you have success maybe 3-4 times, it just becomes second nature. That's why it seems like guys are so effortless with women. It's not because they were just born with the handbook on what to say and what to do. They went out, they put themselves in situations where they had to say certain things, they had to do certain things, and over time they learn what works and what doesn't. So you have to put yourself out there and build that social skill set. How to become more well-rounded, part 3. Building your income. I put this third because when you are attracting a woman, or you first meet a woman, in most cases, she will have no idea what your financial situation is unless you are flashy or you just outright tell her. What I mean by this is, let's say you are in the mall, okay? You see a 10 out of 10. She's in a random store. You want to walk up and approach her. When you walk up to her, unless you just design her down with a bust down watch and all those other things, she has no idea what you make. And even if you are designer down with a bust down watch, it's easily to buy fake designer. You can get on DHgate and all these websites and buy fake shoes and clothes and all this other stuff, and you can look rich even if you're broke. So, or you just outright tell her, which is weird because it's probably going to turn her off because it's just going to come off as desperate, right? So this woman has no idea how much money you make. That's why when I go places and I hear guys say, "Oh, I need to get rich," that woman is going to have no idea that you're rich unless she knows you. She has no idea if you make 500,000 a year or if you make 5,000 a year. She has no idea. So let's start from zero. Let's talk about building your income, because I do want to speak on this, because yes, having money will make you more attractive in a situation of this woman already has interest in you. When a woman already has interest in you and you can, do cool shit, or she sees your Instagram or social media, she sees you traveling, she sees you going out having fun, which takes money. Yes, it can make her more interested in you. So I do want to talk about it. I don't want to just neglect the money aspect. So let's start from zero. I dropped out of college. I was living at home with my parents, working a dead end retail job. This was 2019. So this was, 6 years ago? I made maybe 20K a year, and I couldn't afford nice dates. Even if I did pull a girl and she wanted to be intimate, I had to go to a hotel. So what I want to stop right here. Okay, before I continue, when I say afford nice dates, you don't want your first few dates with a girl to be expensive. You don't, because what happens when you do this is you start to build an expectation from her. You want to do low investment, cheaper dates. That way you're getting to know her. The point of the date is for you to get to know her, figure out if she likes you, figure out if you like her. Most importantly, you don't want to start off going on these crazy dinner dates. But I'm just explaining this to say, whenever you do start to like a woman and she starts to like you and you guys are putting investments into each other, obviously over time you're going to want to do cool shit sometime. You're going to want to travel. You're going to want to go on nice dates every now and then. So you do need money to do these things. This is a lot more difficult to escalate because asking a girl back to your place is a lot more natural, and it makes it easier for a woman to make an excuse to sleep with you. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Okay, now it's time to cut the shit. We're going to get to the nitty gritty. Okay, so what I mean by this is, whenever I was living with my parents, obviously I couldn't have a girl over and just be clapping her cheeks in my parents' house. Some parents are okay with that. My parents were not, especially my mom. She was not going for that. So, I had to basically get a hotel whenever I wanted to try to be intimate with a woman. And whenever you are first meeting a woman, or it's you guys' first few dates, whenever you ask her to go back to a hotel, it's going to kind of be a red flag for a lot of women, because a lot of women aren't going to want to just go to a random hotel, and it just comes off as kind of like sleazy. And women, especially on the first date, if they hook up with you the first date, they're not going to want to tell their friends, because women care a lot about what they say to their friends. They care a lot. And women talk about the guys they sleep with and the dates they go on with their friends. They talk about it just like guys do, right? So if a woman goes to her friends and she's like, yeah, I went back with him to a hotel and we did this and this, it's going to make them feel a little weird because they know their friends are going to judge them, right? And they want to make it like, oh, well, it just happened. They want to make it seem like they were innocent in the situation. They kind of want to make it seem like you kind of finessed them. You had enough game to get the draws off them, right? So whenever you can look at a girl and say, hey, well, this day is going well, we should keep this date going. I got some nice wine at my place. We could listen to music and this and that. And you can say it's my place. She's going to be much more enticed to come back with you. And I also want to make a video talking about dating where if you want to get her back to your place, you definitely want to pick dating spots that are close to your place. But I'll get into that more in another video. But it was a lot more easier for me to get girls back to my place versus saying, hey, do you want to come to the Hilton? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's much more natural and it makes you seem more attractive because when you can bring her back to your place, you got a nice place. It's clean. You got the candles going. You got it smelling good. You got a nice wine or a tequila or you got nice snacks. It's just a different vibe. Like guys who have their own place, they know what I'm talking about. But having your own place, and it takes money to have your own place, will definitely separate you from guys who don't. I began to look for jobs, but I had no high-paying skill set at the time to earn me a high-paying job. A lot of guys are going through this. Either they come out of college with a degree, they need experience to get a job, or they need some type of certification. And it's crazy. Guys are going to pay $100K in student loans plus just to come out and struggle. So I will make a video how to start building income separately to stay on topic. Yeah, I was going to include in this slide how to build your income, but I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you do have income because this money will not save you. So obviously you have some source of income, but I will make a separate video explaining how I started to build my income going from 20K a year to a much higher salary. I'm gonna save exact numbers for the video. I'm not going to give too much away right now, but let's keep it going. How to become more well-rounded for four. I intentionally saved this last for a reason, okay? So, looks are the first thing to attract women, no denying that. Any guy who say looks doesn't matter, don't take that guy's advice because looks clearly matter. When a woman sees you, that's the first thing she sees, how you look. She doesn't see your personality. She doesn't see your bank account. She doesn't see anything. A lot of guys say, oh, good personality is all that matter. If you walk up to a girl, you could be the sweetest guy in the world. You could be the most nice, genuine man in the world. If she finds you unattractive, you're not going to get the chance or the opportunity to show her your personality. So yeah, you want to focus on your looks 100,000%. You definitely want to get a good physique and have a nice appearance. This will get you in the door and make more women open to talking to you. And this is really all it is. It will open women up to you, but it will not make them stick around. Like when I first started self-improvement and I started looking better and attracting more physically attractive women, I could get the women at first, but after we would go on a couple of dates or after I would, be intimate with them, they would always ghost me or cut me off. And I'm like, why are they cutting me off? Like, am I not attractive enough? I made myself more attractive. They slept with me. So what's going on? And what I started to realize is, well, to be honest with you, our conversations weren't that good. We didn't get along that well. The dates might have been boring, but just because we were physically attracted to each other, we were hooking up. So once I started working on every other aspect of my life, that's when I started retaining more women. And the bulk of it was working on my social skills because, like I said, whenever you can make a woman feel a certain emotion, that is when you'll keep her around. And a lot of the time you have to be socially intelligent in order to do this. Especially online dating, having good style and photos of you going nice places, doing cool things will make you stand out from 80% of men. I'm not just pulling this statistic out of my ass. I know a lot of guys are like, where's he getting these numbers from? Trust, bro. There is an actual statistic talking about online dating where it says 80% of men are struggling online. 20% or 80% of women only find 20% of men attractive. Why do you think this is? Obviously, because majority of guys aren't taking care of themselves. Majority of guys aren't focusing on their looks. They're just focusing on money or they're just focusing on game. So yes, you do have to put emphasis on your appearance, and I have plenty of videos talking about how to focus on your appearance, and it's in the ebook as well. My ebook also has plenty of game to make yourself more physically attractive. I literally went into my whole glow up on the ebook. I talked about how I went from extremely obese, really bad acne, terrible haircut, no style, to, getting more lean, building a, more muscular frame, and just completely changing the way I look. If you see the way I used to look to the way that I look now, which I have several videos on my channel explaining that, you will see exactly what I'm talking about, guys. So, conclusion, money is a great thing to have. It will open doors for you and it will allow you to have unique experiences and live a much less stressful life. But it will not bring you true desire from the women you want if you're lacking the whole package. And I've been saying this whole video. Yes, money will open doors for you. Go out there, get your bag. I will never tell you guys not to focus on money because you need money to live. 100%. But you have to focus on every stat in order to become the best version of yourself and to get the most results. It's as simple as that. Anybody who tells you differently, they're simply lying to you. I help guys build themselves into the completed man. If you would like to work with me one on one, you can email me. I have my email, or you can reach out to me on Instagram. I answer every DM and I answer every single email. And like I said, if you want to work with me, the first consultation, we'll get on a call. You can tell me what's going on and I can help you out. It will be completely free, but every consultation after that, I do charge and I can give you my rates if you reach out to me. But I am trying to make things affordable because I know a lot of guys don't have the money to splurge right now. And if you want free game from me, I have a ebook. Like I said, it's linked below. It's completely free. You don't need to give me any information. I don't need any card number. You just click the link. It'll pull it up. You can save it to your phone and read it whenever you want. Yeah, it's in the link below. I'll title it ebook. But yeah, guys, let's get the results we want. Let's lock in. Hopefully this video brought you some value and maybe change your perspective a little bit. But yeah, I'll see you boys on the next one. Peace out.